Hey y'all, Rhonda here. Hope everyone is fantastic. We finally have some relief. The temperature was pleasant today. Oh my goodness, what a relief. It's actually supposed to be, I think, in the 50s or 60s in the morning, which is going to be a welcome sight for our little marching band. They have to be, I think they have to leave, Keith and AJ are going to leave here at 6 in the morning, maybe a little bit before, because she has to be on the field and ready by 6:30. So they'll be marching and doing all that until, I don't know, school starts at 7:30, band is first hour, so they'll be at it for 2 hours in the morning. Anyway, so she may have to wear a little sweatshirt or a little jacket in the morning, and that's fantastic. So it's another late night. It's not as late as it was. It's not 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I think it's about midnight. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm awake, and so let's craft, right? All right. So I just thought this little guy was the cutest. Spellbinders. It's called Dancing Ghost. So you can make his little legs. What was that? A little pop there scared me. You can make his little legs swivel if you want, or you can just glue him straight down. So we're going to be using this one and this embossing folder by Sizzix. It is called, it's by Catherine Breen, Halloween Elements. So it's kind of hard to tell, but it's very busy with ghosts and pumpkins and cauldrons and you name it. It's on here. Spider webs. I mean, it's very busy. So I'm going to do a little technique that I think might be fun. We're going to see how it works. And I'm actually being a little proactive. Go me. I even have all the elements cut out and in this little cup. Yeah, I know. Crazy, but you know, hey. All right. So, white cardstock. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 we're going to start out with because we're going to trim it up a little bit. And I'm going to use my little sponges here. And these are iCrafter, and they're Tim Blender brushes. They are not the foam pads. They are actually blender brushes. Love these little things. All right, so for this technique, the brighter the better. Oh, and I have a little Scooby-Doo blank here. Scooby-Doo Band-Aid. Say that 3 times. Because I was playing with, yes, Mr. Luigi. And he was swatting, because we were playing. He was swatting, and I moved my hand, and boy, he just sliced my little finger, and oh man. So anyway, it'll be all better with a little antibiotic cream and the Mystery Machine Band-Aid. So no need to worry. It'll be all right. All right, so with this technique, the brighter the better. So I have some colors here. Let's see what all I have. And you can use as many as you want. I think there's another green, another purple. I don't know if we'll use those. But anyway, so let's just start out with spiced marmalade. So I have an orange an orange brush. And what's neat about these too, you can buy these and they're just clear and not color coded, and they actually stack. How neat is that? And then you can stack them all up, you know, together, and then at the very end, of course, you're going to have one that's not covered. They actually make a cover for those. But yes, they are brushes. And these are really fantastic. All right, so what we're going to do is just load it up really well. We're just going to make little circles. And you can make them as big as you want or as small as you want, and just randomly placing the color. Like I said, you want them bright, because this technique is really cool. And you can always go back, you know, when you do this and add a little more. Okay, and I'm using the oxides. You can use whatever you want. Like I said, just the brighter the better. And we have a Villainous Potion, very appropriate. And we need a purple. Same thing. Lots of good color. And you don't want any space in between, but you don't want to overlap them a whole lot. I mean, it's not a big deal if you do, but And you just work on it. Just make lots of pretty dots. All right, well, let me continue to do this. I'm just going to use the different colors. And I'll be right back. Okie doke. So this is what we have. Looks kind of like a mess. Just lots of brightly colored dots. All right, so we're going to run this through the embossing folder. This is a 3D, so it's much thicker, and it really, I mean, you can see it's really going to emboss. Okay, so you have your embossed and your debossed. When you run this through, like so, like normal, this image will be raised up. These little pumpkins and the little spider webs, all that will be raised. Okay, we want them sunken in. So we're going to deboss it. So we're actually going to add it like this. So pretty side down. And with it being a 3D embossing folder, and it embosses so deep, it has a tendency to crack the paper. So what I do is I have a real fine, it's a mini mister. This is by Ranger. It is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it is such a fine mist. So I am going to mist this pretty well. Okay. Normally, if you do this, you know, embossing just general and you don't have all this stuff on there, I would spritz it on both sides. All right. So I put quite a bit on there. It's already curling. So pretty side down, like this. Shut that. All right. And I'm going to run this through my Big Shot. All right. Are you ready, ready, ready? All right. Here we go. And on your, let me just remind you on something. On your 3D embossing folders, you have to adjust your sandwich width no matter what machine you use. The Big Shot on mine is several years old, and you know, it has the platform, and then it has the two shims that are hinged on there. Well, they quit hinging them. You still get the shims, but they're not hinged anymore. But anyway, so I open up one of my shims. I take away one of my plastic cutting pads, and I just use one. So that goes down. Whenever you use anything, die or embossing folder, if it's squared off like this, you always want to tilt it just a little bit when you put it through the machine, because it's like a car going over a speed bump. If you hit it head on, it's that ka-thunk, ka-thunk. But if you tilt it just a little bit, and then you go over it much easier. Same way with the machine. You know, sometimes you run it through and you get to the end, the very end, and it'll just pop, you know, scare you, or it'll flip, you know, the handle will. So to keep that from happening, if you tilt it, I mean, you don't have to do a whole lot, just ever so slightly. Just any little bit will make a huge difference. All right, so here we go. Da, 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 da. We'll look at the embossing, which this is phenomenal. I mean, look at that. Gorgeous. I mean, that just, wow. Okay. Here it is on the deboss side. Now, you can't tell much right now. Okay. This is where the magic happens. All right, so you need a dauber, a flat one. And this is, I mean, this is just the foam. And then you need black soot or any black ink, whatever brand you use. All right, so you're going to ink it up pretty well. And you're going to gently go over this in a circular motion. Okay? So you don't want to do it really hard, because you want this paint or this ink to stay on top of the flat surfaces. Okay, you don't want it down in the debossed part. So gently start rubbing it. Keep this flat. And watch the magic happen. Is that not cool? And you just keep rubbing. And if you want it darker, don't press harder. Just continue to go over it. Now you see why the bright colors are the best. See how that's coming alive? Love it. And you can do this with any embossing folder. Usually the busier the better. If you have a large image in the middle, or say a big flower over here or something you want to do, you might want to kind of take note where that is and maybe color that all one color or shades of color, because it might look a little crazy, you know, with all these little splotches all over it. So continue to do that. Now you kind of notice the one color I shouldn't have used is that purple. It's just too dark. But hey, you live and you learn. If I would have done everything but that color, that would have made it so much better. But that was a little dark. I could have not pressed so hard. Pretty fancy schmancy. Love it. And then I'll show you the emboss side. This would be the regular. And if you went over this, of course this is going to be covered up. I'm just gently going over this so you can see. I mean, it's a busy little image. Very nice. This is great for your gilding polishes, all kinds of mediums. And this is even so embossed. I mean, if you can see the depth that it has, you could even take a marker with a really, really fine tip, like a zig marker. I know I have some, oh, what's the brand? I have a ton of it. Starts with an A, as, I'll think of it. Anyway, with a really, you know, if you want to really color this in, or color just, you know, just color the pumpkins in, or just color this or that in. I may have to try that. Anyway, this is would be so easily colored in. I mean, that would be just fantastic. But anyway, so we're doing this. Oh, that purple's kind of bugging me. I may have to redo it. I don't know. All right, so we're going to put this on an A2 size card base. Let me grab one of those. Okay. And a little trick that I learned from Miss Dieta as I was going and answering my comments and stuff was, and I've learned this the hard way, you know, you always check and make sure it opens the right way. I have made a whole card, a beautiful card, and it opened the wrong way. You know, that's just breaks your heart. So what Miss Marty Pants suggested is she has little sticky notes. And if you have some little bitty ones, or even cut these in strips, place it in there, and then you'll know that your card is going the right direction. So there. Another one of Miss Dieta's good tips. All right, let's trim this up a little bit, because we're going to have a mat behind it. And I like to use this little tonic. This is Tim Holtz Tonic Studios, their little cutter. And I did cut, believe it or not, because I'm prepared, but I've already lost it. What did I do with it? I cut a mat. Oh, right there. And it really, and I've said this before, depending on the color that you put behind it as to what pops. So you see the pink. Let me grab another color here. The orange. The purple. So see, it really, so it's always good to play around with a couple of colors. So I cut this 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Here's one that I was playing around with. I actually like that one a little bit better. All right, so let's trim this up. Let's see. Let's go 1 notch shy of 4 1/4. And 1 notch shy of 5 1/2. And let's see if we want any more of a border than that, or if that's good enough. I think that's good. And you could even double mat them. I love mats. I just think they add a finished look to the project. The matting. All right, so let's put this together. And I am going to use, score tape. I guess it doesn't matter on that. On my edge. But I like using score tape. And you can tear or you can cut. And you just have to be careful because so many of the glues have lots of water in them. And you'd have to put quite a bit on this one because of all the humpy bumpies. And it may warp the paper and it may come through a little. But on this one I'm going to do a couple extra because of all the humpy bumpies. Okay. When I'm working on my journals, I always cut my score tape. It just leaves a better edge, and I don't know, I just like that. All right, let me get my little getter here. I'm going to go ahead and let's see which side is up. This side. I don't know why, you know, we all have certain sides that we want to start with. And I dog ear it, put that back, and then I line this up where I want it, and don't press that corner down until you're ready. Okay, press that down and then pull. We get ink everywhere, and it's not going anywhere. It's adhered to that side, and then we can start pulling these pieces off. And usually it's a lot easier if you go, instead of trying to pick at the end, go down a little ways and take it off there. Lots of humpy bumpies. Oops, come on here. Work with me. Ned's saying, no, you're making a video. All right, and then just kind of work it down. Flatten that down. And there is that piece. All right, let's start putting our scene together. Hang on. I gotta plug up, hang on. Okay, sorry about that. I ran out of juice. Excuse me, let me take a drink here. And I can't plug my phone in when it's on my stand because I have to scoot my phone over so it doesn't show my arm. So when I do that, the hole's covered up. More than you wanted to know. But, so now we have a little bit of juice. Let's continue. All right. So we have this ready to go. And I was thinking, this is a little busy. I mean, it's a lot busy. With the background and then with all the colors, it's busy. So anytime you have something busy and you want to tone it down a little bit, vellum is always a good thing. It's a good option. So it just kind of mutes it just a little bit. So then we have our little ghost and his little legs. Excuse me. So this little hole is where you could put a thick or two pop dots, and his legs will swivel behind him here, but we're just going to make him go straight down. All right, I'm kind of gonna see where I'm going to place him, so I'll know where to put some vellum to try. Some tape on the vellum to try to hide it just a little bit. So there for sure. We'll see if that'll be enough on that side to hold it in place. If you had like a Xyron sticker maker, you could cover the whole thing and then it wouldn't show. But when you have pieces like this, and I know they used to make a vellum tape, but they quit making it because I think the EPA or somebody shut them down because they were putting something kind of wild in it. And it was not a good thing. All right, let's take that off. Put this down. And usually score tape you don't see behind vellum very much, but oh yeah, with as busy as that is, you're not going to see it. So let me add another piece on the other side. That's going to work out really well. So let's just do this. I always like to burnish it down well. And come on. Okay, see, you're not going to see that because of the busyness. All right, so let's get this constructed. And we will probably just use liquid glue for this. I think I'm going to put him to the side because I want to stack my pumpkins up. There's his little bag. I want to do something with these little guys here. I think I want a little more down at the bottom. Put them a little wonky. And then we could put the Hey Boo. There's a little Hey Boo that I offset with a different color. And then I have lots of little candies that are cut out, and I think we're going to have some in his bag and then like all spilling out. Sounds like a plan. All right, let's glue this guy down since he's our main guy. So I see where the feet are. And a little trick here, I know we all like the bling, but I took the bling off the top of my Nouveau glue and it stands up perfectly. So when you use it, then you can just set it back in there and it stays. Pretty smart, huh? Okay. And I saw where May was using a new glue dispenser. It put that down. Anyway, it holds like a bottle of glue, and then you pull a trigger or something, if I'm not mistaken, and I guess it squeezes this. So that's really interesting. I'll have to do a little research on that, see what that is. All right, and I just put a little piece of black paper behind the eyes, and his little arm opens up there. So we're going to put glue, and we're not going to glue his little arm because I'm going to slide his bag underneath. And this, who was it? One of my crafty friends wanted to see this Spellbinders. This Spellbinders glitter foam sheets. This is black and white. My little guy right here is that glitter foam. And it does not come off whatever. I mean, it does it. Cuts beautifully. I mean, I know this is kind of a bold shape, but it would cut these little candies out. And the little, I don't know if you can see the little notches in there. It will even cut that out with that paper. I mean, it's phenomenal stuff. All right, let's glue his little bag down. We're going to stick it under his arm. Let's see, like this. I like how it's kind of popped up. So I'm just going to glue the top part and the little handle. I'm just going to glue that part down. I may put a pop dot under the bottom part just to give it a little dimension. All right. That way you can kind of see his arm a little bit. Okay, we'll leave that for now and kind of see what happens. All right, let's glue our pumpkins down. Kind of like how I had them there. And I just put a black circle behind them to cover, so they have black faces there. Let's do this one. And this little guy on top. All right, we've got some jack-o'-lanterns going on there. All right, I'll probably have to use my tweezers, but we have our little Hey Boo here. And if you can see, I cut it out. Actually, this is that white glittery foam from Spellbinders. So that's the foam. And then I cut it out in yellow and made it slantways there just to give it a little definition there. So there's my boo. And here's my A. And I need a hey. So there's my hey boo. Play with that a little bit. Something like that. You not wanting to stay down? Well, I kind of like that definition though, or that dimension. Okay, let's go ahead and glue Hey Boo down. I'm going to have to get the tweezers out. All right. Lord have mercy. Usually if it involves tweezers, I don't want any part of it. But you know, with a lot of Spellbinders, for some reason, I don't mind. I've done a lot of flowers. Glue, I don't know. I know it dries clear, but I don't want any extra there. But anyway, I've done a lot of flowers, Spellbinders flowers, and it wasn't bad. It was those little intricate things. I mean, it was a large bouquet of flowers that I did. Get some of that off. Can't find my reverse. Oh, those are my reverse. My other ones. I started using the regular tweezers, and now going back to my reverse, I'm kind of trying to figure out what the what here. I wish they would have. I don't know the purpose of making these in two pieces. I mean, it would have been a lot easier just to make them in one. Don't you think? So instead of having to do this 4 times, I could have just done twice. But what do I know? Clean up some of that extra there. All right, so that's all glued down. Now it's time for some candy. I'm just, I guess I should use my jewel picker. That probably would be easier. And we could just start laying some candies down. See where we want them. And then most of them are going to be falling. He has lots of candy and it's just falling out of his bag. That would have been cute if they did a couple other shapes. I mean, I know this was a simple kind of inexpensive die, but it would have been nice to have another shape of candy. Am I just going to use them all? Why not? See, it would have been a lot more interesting with different shapes. I know, they're still the same color right there. All right, let me see. I'm just playing with it here. We're trying to decide. That's a lot of busyness going on. So we have the busy background. Oh, this isn't bad, but then with all the busyness of the candy. Because I did lots of colors. Should we do just a couple of colors? I don't know. Let's just glue some of it down. Let's just go for it. Just commit. Just commit. Just do it. And these are always upside down and don't want to turn over. I have to concentrate. And see what next. Oh, the decisions. I'll do a bright yellow one. And you could even put a little pop dot under it. For some more dimension. kind of look like little bows, don't they? Well, that's the exact same color. Look at that. We'll put some over here. We'll share with the pumpkin. What other color? Red? All right, what other color? Yellow. This is really a nice jewel picker. Oh. Woodware Craft Collection. It has kind of a little scoring implement on that. It has a little tiny ball on it. You have to be careful. It might kind of go through your paper, but it has a little ball on the end. And then the little wax tip. Anyway, these have been really good, and you can buy replacements for the tip there. All right, I don't have a blue one down here. Come on. And I like it because it's not so sticky that it, you know, you can't, sometimes it won't let go. And then you've got to use your hand, and it's just like, why even do it? Let's put a purple one up here. I want it to look like a bow in his head. I just want it to look like a lot of candy falling out. All right. Okay, I don't think I'm going to use too much more. Maybe this one. Maybe one right there. Cover a little bit of that purple up. Okay, that's not bad. I know, I keep going. Like I said, if the background wasn't so busy, do we want one falling? Just right there on the edge. Why not? I know. Be second guessing. But we do. We're very hard and critical on ourselves, aren't we? On what we do. All right. So let's go ahead and adhere this to the card base. Put that away, Rhonda. All right. I have my card base. Put my tools away there. That has my little card in it, so, or my little sticky notes. I know which way it opens. All right, and again, I'm just going to dog ear this. Now, come on. Oh, candy is falling. Okay, dog ear that. Which one of you guys are jumping off? All right, let's put another little fresh glue dot there. Put him down. 1, 2, 3, ABC. All right. So let's place this down. Should be pretty easy because it should fit just like that. Oh, and I get to tell you next video about AJ's birthday party. It was fantastic. I will show pictures and tell you all about it because it's over, and because part of it was a big surprise. And yes, she and everyone else was really surprised. It was fantastic. So I look forward to sharing all that with you. We had a great time, and anyway, it was just really neat. Lots of memories made. All right. That would have been a pretty color underneath there too. All right. I'll save that one for later. So there is our card. Hey Boo. So we have a Spellbinders die and a Sizzix embossing folder. And I just think that's kind of cute. Yep, it's a little busy, but I like it. And then we could even, you know, if you want to zhuzh it up a little more, some glossy accents in his eyes, or you could do the pumpkins. You know, you could add a little more to it. You could even add little jewels, but I think that'd be a little much because we have, even though I'm over the top, I go a little overboard on occasions. That would be a little much. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, bye for now.